Hey, what's going on, guys? Hex coming back into the brand new video. So this is the video I've been hyping up, or series I guess I've been hyping up. It's the HexCast, and I'm actually joined by Hanson today, Mikey Hanson, and actually in the Discord, Hanson, someone, I did not mention this while we were talking for the past 15 minutes, but someone said, "Hey, Brody," I was like, "Who's Brody?" And it showed you, it showed that you just joined the Discord, and I was like, "That's Brody," because I told you to join. Yeah, so I was like, "Who is Brody?" But basically, before we really dive into the HexCast, guys, basically we're just going over My Hero Academia. We're going to be going over how to not summon a Demon Lord, AOT, and Overlord. Yep. So, to start this off, I'm actually going to ask the question to Mikey. What do you actually think of how to not summon a Demon Lord, since you have not reviewed it, and some of my subscribers obviously watch what you do, so no one knows your opinion. They know somewhat of mine. So yeah, what do you think of that?
Right, so I think how not to summon a Demon Lord is actually really interesting, because, you know, it shouldn't be as good as it actually is. It really is it's a guilty pleasure show, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I love the character models. I've seen you talk a little bit about that as well. The ending theme is out of this world. I have been listening to that for just, for literally like 5 hours. And it's moving in a good direction, you know. It's moving forward at a steady pace, and just overall, I think it's been relatively good. I mean, it is a guilty pleasure show, and we can't get around the whole fan service. You know, this newest episode had the tentacles as well, but I mean, it's all good. It's really enjoyable.
See, one of the things I was thinking immediately, I should not like this show. Or I should not think about it as highly as I do. And one of the cool things about that was I was just like, why do I like it? And I kept saying to myself, I don't know. And I was like, why do I like this? But you know, Roth, initially you said you're talking about the guilty pleasure. Yeah. And for me, the guilty pleasure, I think it's kind of like guilty pleasure is like comedy. I think it's subjective. I think it's something, you know, it could go either way. Everyone likes their certain way they handle things. And this show has something about it with what's her name, Kira? Or Shira is her name, I believe, right?
Oh, yeah,
it's Shira. And obviously she is the go-to fan service, right?
Yeah, and definitely.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the character chemistry whenever the fan service takes place is why I like it. I mean, because with the main character, Diablo, the interesting thing about his character and how, you know, the typical isekai show and or game, you know, genre, however you want to put it, the typical thing about it is they're getting transported into a game they've played. And Demon Lord takes that and they make it, they transport him to a game he plays, but instead of being exactly the same, there's a lot of times where you catch that character saying similar. He doesn't say the same, but he says similar. And there's like, they tweak things, so it's not exactly the same. So I guess that's cool because you get more monologues and you see how the character thinks. And I think that's what Diablo does. He thinks, we actually get to see that inner monologue and see how he thinks and how he, kind of dissects things, because they're not exactly the same, but they're just very familiar. So, I mean, this episode, I think they were making some kind of potion, and like that kind of fan service, whenever him and Shira, like that's the kind of fan service that'll make me laugh, you know? I don't view that as much as fan service as I do comedy. I mean, it's both, obviously.
Right.
There's no way around that, but you're talking about the character models.
Yeah, I mean, the character models are, you know, fucking great, but actually, what you said before was actually kind of interesting, how they've kind of changed the world a little bit from the game, and we of course have the whole monologuing from Diablo, and it's kind of like they've taken elements from another show that we will be talking about today, of course, Overlord, which does kind of like the same thing, but instead of how not to summon a Demon Lord becoming a copy, you know, from that point where we have a similar world, but not the same, and we have the monologuing. They take like a very distinct, different route. So for those who kind of like Overlord, but want a, I guess, lighter, more fan servicey take on it, this is like absolutely perfect, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I cannot agree with that anymore. You know, more than as you stated it. But one of the things that really did catch me, also, I just want to make sure I really throw that in. It's just the art in general. I found the screen to be really saturated color and vivid. Like even the dark colors had a brightness to them, right? You know, obviously you can clearly tell they're dark. Obviously you can clearly tell the light colors are bright, right? The yellows and whatnot. But even the dark colors have that vividness to them. And whenever I see a show that has those dark, hues with those light hues, and you put them together and compare and contrast to different colors, I think it always, visuals is the number one thing for any anime, right? Basically, the first thing, you're a visual learner. You're visual, everything has to do with visuals. That's what's going to catch your attention. And I think that's one of the things that drives this show and makes me want to watch more, because I'm always looking all over the screen trying to find some kind of eye candy per se. I just love the way the colors look. Like Diablo's design, like you're talking about character models and everything like that in between, right?
Yeah. It definitely helps to have something good to look at, right?
Yeah, and I look at Rim's character. I like her design. Diablo's. Shira's doesn't have that much to it. Besides boobs.
Right.
for the most part. But the other two I really like looking at, and the one girl from she's part of the Beast, the Fallen. Yes, the Fallen. That's what they're called.
Right,
the one that attacked. She had a cool character design. So
Yeah, and I think she's gonna be making a reappearance, just based off of the opening and ending themes as well. So that's gonna be pretty high.
If we go back to episode 4, I think it was, where she first showed up. It's 3 or 4, right? It's 3. It's one or 2.
Yeah, I think so.
He mentioned something about being the true demon lord, and she kind of muttered something underneath her breath, and she kind of seemed like she was surprised, and she's like, "Oh, this is really him." After she saw the white nova or whatever, and just destroyed the bridge.
Right.
So I'm sure I think there could be a side switch. I think she could be coming over to Diablo's side. She's even on the cover art, so we're still missing one character off the cover art actually for the show. So I'm looking for one more character to actually be in this. But overall, I think the show's not. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's the greatest thing ever made or it's a masterstroke of writing.
Right.
But for some reason, I don't know. There's a lot of tropes, cliches per se, but I think it does a lot of things, the little things right that add up to be, a big thing. And I think it's like a solid B if I gave it a grade. That's just how I view it. I don't know how you view it, but we'll close that out with your grade.
I guess if I were to rate it like based off of pure enjoyment, I would probably be around, as you, maybe a B or a C plus maybe. But of course, if we are going to get more technical, you can always point shit out. But just in terms of pure guilty pleasure enjoyment, this is ranking pretty high in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people that I'm probably gonna make a video on this at some point. Right. But I can 100% be very entertained by a bad show. Sometimes even like a badly written show, if it has cool concepts. And I can watch a bad written show, have more fun with a show that it's more, it's way better written, but it's stale. As long as it keeps me kind of really involved with the show, engaging.
Yeah,
it just comes down to that for me. But
yeah, it's important sometimes to be able to, especially in an anime, to be able to look past, is it well written or well produced? Like, just take it for what it is, a piece of media that you are watching to have a good time. It's important to be able to have that perspective as well.
But actually with that, though, we'll actually move on to the next thing. So the next thing actually on the list is Attack on Titan, and I'll start this one off a little bit. So obviously Season 3 came very quickly after Season 2.
Oh, definitely.
The big difference from Season 1 to 2, then 2 to 3. But so far with Attack on Titan, I'll come out and say that they've rearranged some things. They've rearranged it. The author's come out and said this is how it should have been written. So he thinks the anime is better than the manga, obviously, because he come out. He came out and said, I didn't like how slow this arc was in the manga, and that's why it's actually different. It's not anime original content. It's just the timeline's different. He cuts a little bit of things out, but he keeps the source material in, but it just cuts out some of the source material, but doesn't add really anime original. So. One thing about the show so far is even though it's like they've introduced humans, I find it's almost as if it's more engaging at times than the Titans. It just depends. The setting right now kind of feels as if they're in a Titan battlefield because you don't know who's on what side. And in the last episode of Attack on Titan, we've actually gotten to see people switching sides. So now the people inside the show definitely don't know who's good or who's bad. Like, no clue. And there's something in, I think it's your last AOT video. You're talking about, was it Marlowe, right? Is the one that just switched. It's Marlowe, Hitch, and Marlo, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think
so too.
I think you actually gave a bad point because you're assuming that Marlo's just going to be killed off. I think that's what it was in your video.
I was talking about side character syndrome. Yeah.
Yes, and that's something I started thinking about actually the past couple days, because I was just kind of like, how many side characters do actually get killed off in Attack on Titan? I know Marco, obviously Reeves, Mr. Reeves this season.
Right.
Season 2, I don't know if there was a side character that got actually killed off besides the guy that was on Levi's squad that got killed by the Beast Titan. But I mean, he never even played a significant role in the show, like Mr. Reeves or someone like Marlo is now. But the question I wanted to bring was, like, do support characters actually carry weight in Attack on Titan? That's my thing. And I definitely want to know your opinion on that.
I'm sorry, could you repeat? I was lagging out for a second.
Oh, that's fine. Do you think support characters actually carry weight in Attack on Titan, or do you think, like, because it seems as if they're going to be killed off, that it kind of, takes away from it a little bit?
Right. For me, I group side characters in like a very big box, basically. So when you were saying that maybe not many side characters were killed off during the second season, I mean also just the characters that the series introduces really quickly and then kills off like immediately after. And I feel like Attack on Titan has had a tendency to do that. But if we are talking sub-characters within the main group of characters, then I feel like they definitely carry a lot more weight. But for the people, and I'll be honest, as you mentioned, I still go by that theory. Of course, I don't know because I haven't read the manga. But the two newest characters that switched sides in the newest episode, I was like, okay, these guys are gonna get introduced. They're gonna do something helpful for the group, and then in one episode, two episodes, they're gonna get killed. But I mean, it would be amazing if they somehow became an integral part of the main cast of characters in some way, or like help the whole effort to I guess topple the king, right?
Yeah, and that's something that sometimes we don't know about support characters, because I mean, was it Gene? I think it is the one that was about to get killed by the girl in the wagon before Armin saved him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I thought he was to be dead for sure in the first season, like, because he's one of those characters that wanted to work on the inner wall. I just thought like he's gonna be an example of someone with bad morals per se, or incorrect morals. Was gonna die. This is kind of like the sense I got, and everyone has a red shirt in Attack on Titan so far. But one thing
I would
to me,
like
though,
him to die though.
I have liked him. He did start off as a douche at first, but I actually have grown to like his character more.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's likable. But imagine the shock though. Like, that would be like, people would be like, "Holy shit!" if he actually died.
Yeah. For sure. I think I would like to see him for a little bit longer in the series. Maybe like another season after this, to carry a little bit more weight. If that does, I mean, I don't want any of the characters to die that I like.
Oh,
obviously.
of course.
I mean, that's the point of it carrying weight. But one of the things I want to talk about what the support characters is, I feel as if if a character does die and it's a consistent thing throughout the series, you kind of expect it's going to happen, and God forbid it doesn't happen, right? Miracle. But
right.
I feel as if one thing that this season has done, especially, and one of the big things that Attack on Titan has done in general, like the Mr. Reeves scene and his son scene, they take these support characters, and no matter what, they've always found a role. They've always made them their own character, and I think that's one reason why Overlord's so good. It's support characters like Sebas. They give them a true identity, not just a name and a persona. They give us an understanding of those characters. And I mean, Hanji, whenever she picked up Flagle, that was Mr. Reeves' son. Flagle Reeves.
Oh yeah, Flagle, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right then and there, even though it's like a 30-second, scene, 20-second scene of dialogue from him, you saw his point of views and his perspective on his life right now. And so it made you understand, why he was acting like he was acting, right? And why he didn't really want to join the Scott regiment, because he knew how much shit they were in. Yeah. And I think it's cool because if you can take a support character, even if we know you're going to kill him off, and you can make that support character a character that's, gonna either progress the storyline and or get, make it so they get, give characterization to another character through some kind of dialogue, or give some kind of character development later on, like Mr. Reed, his dad, the character development Flagle got. was Flegel. You know, his dad saying, you know, I have a nose for, or merch, or what is it? Merchants have a nose for.
Yeah, merchants. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that's cool to see because now we know why he's going to act the way he does in the future and why he's acting the way he does now.
Right. Flegel's scene was really good, honestly. Probably one of my favorite scenes of the entire series so far, because they really, you know, they pushed him in a good direction, and they did so in a relatively short and believable way. So that was really good, actually. Yeah,
if Attack on Titan does anything amazing, it's the psychological aspect. It captures it just magnificently, right? And or the sociology aspect specifically, you know, human behavior. I mean, even whenever he stood up for himself, you saw that he is still nervous and he didn't have confidence within himself. And then everyone starts clapping, he kind of looks up, and, you know, he's just kind of, holy shit, this is happening. I took a step forward, and, you know, it's...
Right. And that scene was so impactful because you could feel the emotion behind it, right?
Yeah, and that makes for later on, if something were to happen to him, you would care more rather than just, you know...
Yes, definitely.
And with Hitch, yeah, those two characters seem cool, her and Marlo. Now, I told people in my review, Hitch is in, this is the first time she got introduced into the series, the main series, from my knowledge. I don't remember. I don't know if you do. Do you remember her at all?
I don't, actually.
Okay, so Attack on Titan, The Lost Girls, the OVA, she's actually in there, and she's like Annie's roommate. And that's whenever she said that. Yeah, whenever she said something about being with Annie's clothes still being there, and she didn't know where Annie was. Yeah, they were actually like roommates and stuff in OVA Lost Girls. Whenever and it shows in OVA Lost Girls, it shows like what the I think it's an Imperial, right? That's an Imperial regiment or whatever, because they're in the very inner wall. It shows like Annie actually doing missions for the Imperial militia per se. It shows her doing missions and stuff, actually. Like, she actually goes Titan in the middle of the middle walls, like the inner walls.
Wait, really?
Yes. In OVA Lost Girl, she goes Titan when this one dude's, like, trying to, like, sexually assault her or something. He's doing something stupid. Or they're trying to beat her up. It's something like that. And she, like, one of them hit her ring or something, or she has pinned down, and she just hit her ring, went Titan for, like, 30 seconds and just killed him.
Holy shit, I need to watch that. What the fuck?
I still need to watch the second part of it. I think the second part of it's out now. But yeah, it's OVA Lost Girls. That scene of Hitch being there and them talking about her being just smashed into the ground like mud or like pudding by the Titans that attacked. It carried a lot more weight because you know she has a better connection with Annie than what it shows in the main series. Because if you watch Lost Girls,
right.
So. That's cool scene 2 as well. That carried a lot of weight whenever Levi's just kind of like, we're not your enemies. That, you know, she's gone not because of us. She's gone because she was that Titan. And there's kind of, holy shit. And I really like that. Carried a lot of weight.
That's actually really interesting. I was sitting there thinking, you know, why is this chick so fazed by it? You know, if she barely knew Annie, then why the fuck does she care so much? But
yeah, it felt empty
if it's as you say, then there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. Damn.
Yes, OVA Lost Girls fills that gap per se, or fills in that relationship, I should say, not the gap necessarily. But yeah, that's why she's kind of like tweaking and she started shaking and stuff whenever she heard about it. So I mean, yeah. Any more thoughts on Attack on Titan, or is that really?
I think as a closing statement, I could say that. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll admit that I've always been, I guess, what you in common terms would describe as a Attack on Titan hater, almost. I was definitely not a fan during its peak of popularity, and I was one of the people who put it down because, and I will stand by this today as well, I didn't think the writing during the first season or so was that good. There also still is the side character syndrome or whatever, but I think Attack on Titan as a series has really started to find its own footing, and it's moving in a really interesting direction. I like how the author has the balls, basically, to build up a show around action, but then do an arc like this. And I see a lot of people, actually, online who are like, oh, this season is gonna suck, just wait for the action to come. And it's like manga readers who don't really even believe in their own, show. But I can say without a doubt that I think it's done a great job. This is without a doubt one of the strongest seasons of Attack on Titan, if not the absolute best, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things too, I want to close this out, was when they started talking about the ODM gear and how he was like, that's definitely could not kill a Titan, but that looks more like human hunting. And it just shows like not even the people that are working for the government and on the side of the government and not on the side of the scout regime, not even those people like can fully grasp what is what.
Yeah, it's like just that one big pile of mess, you know? Nobody knows what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that I think the theory that Erwin was talking about has me really interested about. I mean, I don't know how they would have brainwashed them in a way. I mean, it's like a community brainwashing. Maybe it's just, you know, like controlling the paper and stuff like that, obviously. But I don't know,
that's gonna be really interesting actually to see what happens there.
How did they make so many people, you know, keep a secret and or forget about something and make them believe something else, you know, because they were talking about how Titans became something and stuff like that. And one of the biggest things that actually has me really interested is the fact that, what was it? All right, so they talk about if a Titan is to eat a human, then they can become a shifter, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then if a Titan is to eat a shifter, they gain all that. You know, one, they can become a shifter, and two, or I think, no, a shifter has to eat a Titan, another Titan shifter, excuse me. If they are to do that, then they gain that Titan's powers, actually. So if Aaron ate Reiner, he would gain the armor. It makes you wonder, because the coordinator, Aaron's not the first coordinator. Yeah. So it makes you wonder, how did he get said power then? How was he able to get the coordinator if he has not eaten another shifter or someone who had the power of the coordinator, right? Because they kind of hint that it's not.
They are pushing a lot of different, you know, tiny subplots in this season, and it really feels like it's all moving towards this big mind-fucking reveal,
the basement
right?
and whatnot. I think. I just think of, you know, obviously, I feel it's 100%. Aaron got his power from his dad. What was in that needle?
Yeah, I think so too.
What was in that needle? But to get the power of the coordinator, how does that work? I mean,
holy shit, that's a throwback. The needle, holy shit.
Yes, I mean,
it's a long ass time ago.
How did he get the power of the coordinator then? That's the thing. I mean, how? I don't know, man. I don't know who. You know, we haven't even seen Aaron's dad. Actually, he obviously is not dead because they would not kill him off screen.
Right.
That's
what the
so.
Fuck happened to? It's the same with Annie, dude. Like some of these things happened so long ago. Like holy shit.
Annie's still stuck in the shard. Honestly, I heard in the manga that Annie's still in the shard. So who knows if we'll ever see Annie again.
Oh my god, holy shit.
That's what I've heard. I don't know for sure, but like, I mean, even that the fact that I'm like somewhat hearing it, I don't even know. So moving on to the next thing, though, we'll leave that there. My Hero Academia. And I'll actually let you start off with this one since, I mean, obviously you've been catching up. People already know my opinion on it for the most part. So yeah, take it away.
Right, so it's gonna sound like I'm hating on all mainstream things, but I've never been the biggest shonen fan, I'll be honest. But My Hero Academia, I gotta say, like, they've really perfected the shonen genre, in my opinion. Of course, it still has its ups and downs, but I would say that, I mean, it is quickly moving up there, and I would say it's probably, I haven't watched One Piece, but I could imagine it being damn close. I think I saw something about the author actually wanting to topple One Piece one day as well. Yeah,
I don't know what's going on with that. It's like, Neverworld actually made a video about the sales and whatnot, and he's talking about it a little bit, and I mean, I think it was, Black Clover actually sells more manga volumes than My Hero Academia.
Oh, really?
I think, or it's damn close. It's like within 6,000 copies, 60,000 copies of one another, something like that. It's either Black Clover's ahead by that much or it's down by that much. It's like really super close, and no one would expect that.
No, you know, shit. But anyways, I think as well, you know, with the whole All Might versus All for One, right?
Yeah.
That whole fight has really shifted My Hero Academia. Like, we are moving
into the world in general and the story, like,
and it's gonna be so fucking interesting to see what happens from this point onwards. And I really think the thing about My Hero Academia as well that I really enjoy is how the whole A class, you know, they are all likable, and My Hero Academia shines the most when we see more of the whole class together, honestly, in my opinion. So this current arc, of course, and the last couple as well, have been really good because, of course, Deku is awesome, Bakugo is awesome, All Might awesome, of course, but seeing all of these different characters interact and the way these battles play around each and every single one of their
Battle
quirks
of Ideals and whatnot.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. Honestly, I'm just completely hooked, especially after catching up to the newest episodes. What do you think about it?
See, so far for season 3, like I look at the first half, and obviously like him versus Muscular was just hype, right? Like it's just like
holy shit, man, yeah.
And it's crazy because it's obviously, you know, even in the opening, it's about ideals. They're singing about ideals, right? It's a battle of ideals. And I look at the first half, and it's, I mean, from an action standpoint, yes, it's way more engaging. Are we getting a lot of action right now? Absolutely, but not to the atmosphere is not, you know, it's not kill or be killed at this moment, right? And it's not my, you know, if it's not the atmosphere of if I lose, not only my ideals get crushed, but everything I was established to this point get crushed. You know, that was all for one and one for all. You know, obviously, but when I look at the first and or second fight, second fight technically, I think, right? It would have been All Might would have been the second big fight. Yeah, the second actual big fight. A lot of people, I just want to put this in here because this isn't really, I guess, I mean, this is still about season 3, so it works. But a lot of people actually shit on the animation for that fight. Given when it had it, it was good, but they talk shit about how it didn't have a lot. It didn't, you know, it wasn't like Nomu versus All Might or Todoroki versus Deku in terms of animation. But I think a lot of people misinterpret, you know, it's in the opening. So, I mean, like, if you have not heard the terms my ideals by now, when it comes to My Hero Academia, then you have not been watching this show correctly.
Right.
But,
I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with the fight there. I think it was perfectly executed, both in terms of pacing and production quality.
The direction, yes, the direction of the fight. And it's you know, that fight was more or less, it was the big one, but it's not supposed to be the big one. It's really the setup to the big one, if you really think about it.
Because, right, you mean like all the way down the line between...
Yes.
Yeah, okay, right, yeah.
Because the ideals, you know, the symbol of peace, a.k.a. All Might, the ideals of the world are in place. They're right there. You know, he's on top, the villain's underneath him trying to climb up to get him, but he just keeps knocking him down. Now with that pillar not there, what is the ideal of the world? You know, is it still what All Might has left? But when is someone going to take it and either add on to the ideal and or completely switch that ideal? And I love how that's you know, that's what the next arc is about, essentially, the provision, the licensing exams arc, right? The one we're on right now. Yeah, I mean, I actually watched, this is a quote from like Chibi Reviews. So he's talking about it too. So Deku actually, whenever he, you know, makes it into the next stage of the exam, after he tags the guy with his ball or whatever, he mentioned that he's like, Deku basically, that's the second year, and this is his last chance. He basically had to end his ideals in order to, you know, make his own ideals come true and or keep them alive, per se.
Oh, yeah. I remember that scene. That was actually pretty good.
Yes. And it's something subtle. He mentioned that to me, or not to me specifically, but in his video, and I was just kind of like, holy crap. You know, I was like, he's right. And I thought about it, and I was like, whenever you look at this half of the arc from a direction, you know, what are they trying to, you know, what point are they trying to get across, that kind of thing. I feel as if this arc is way better than what you think it is, because it's not just mediocre action scenes and or, you know.
Right. You are completely right. But My Hero Academia shines so much more than just the action. Like, the action is good, but all the stuff that happens behind the scenes and character motivation and all of that is just as good, if not even better, honestly. I agree completely.
I mean, the most important thing, I say this in my videos, I don't know if you've seen me say it or heard me say it, but I don't care how good your plot is, I don't care how good your setting is, I don't care how good your idea is, you know, your concepts, wherever they may be. It starts and ends with the characters in any show, because if you don't have likable characters, if you don't have characters you can invest in, especially in times of crisis, peril, whatever you want to, you know, call it, certain situations, then you're not going to care whenever the emotions are supposed to make you care, you know, the emotional scenes. You're not supposed to care about how they think or feel unless you understand the characters. And that's why I like this arc too. And I think this arc is going to elevate the future of the show, because they gave like Momo and you know, all of them, right, Juro, whenever they were trapped in that one room and they were like making it freezing.
I really like that they gave like such a long time for them to shine as well. That was really good.
Splitting up their characters allowed them to focus on individual groups, which helps us understand. You know, it gives them that time for us to connect with them. In order to try to pick them apart and dissect them and understand, you know, dissect them mentally and see where they're at and how they, you know, where they've come from, I guess is the best way to see it. And it's cool because you see Momo's development from whenever she's fighting Mr. Aizawa in Eraserhead with Todoroki. She had no confidence, right? Something went wrong. She lost her confidence. And we see that Todoroki was the one that gave her confidence back. And now you saw her make that strategic plan and everything. And now she outthought the girl that was a genius, the one with the quirk. And it's cool to see. It shows you where she was. It shows you overcome that. And now it's showing you how she's established herself as that character, you know, that developed back in late season 1, early season 2. It was one of the two. I can't remember exactly when. But I think it's cool. You know, elevating characters is the best way to go about a story. Everything else comes after that.
And they are still setting up a lot of stuff even while doing this. You mentioned the whole while they're trapped inside the freezing room or whatever. And she gets this flashback of Deku, and I really liked the whole dialogue between Eraserhead and what was her name, Happy Girl or some shit like that. The other teacher. Oh
yeah, the one that laughs. Yeah. Aizawa's dialogue has been on point.
Right, and he was like, we have these two characters in class. They aren't the most popular and they aren't the leaders, but they inspire everybody else. I feel like that was so fucking well done, and it really sets them up for, I guess, some kind of arc down the line.
Yeah, it gives Mr. Aizawa characterization as well, like, because now you see what he actually thinks. You understand? Yeah. And the only thing I disagreed with was that scene was Deku's popular as shit.
All right, that's true, I guess.
I know. I was joking around about it. I was like, if I look at a leadership standpoint, I would give him the leadership standpoint too, because I mean, right when the battle begun. And he's like, everyone stick together. They're going to look at us because they know our quirks. I was like, if anyone's a leader in the show, I mean, even whenever he led the charge to save Bakugo, I was like, he's the leader. I was like, that seems badass. That did not take away from it, you know, take anything away from it for me. But I was like, Deku's the leader and Deku is popular. I mean, I guess he's
thinking more about like Ida or Todoroki in that leadership thing. I think Ida specifically, you know, he always takes, at least vocally, takes the leadership, and Todoroki is, you know, he's a bad boy, but he's still pretty popular. I guess that's kind of the approach that he's going for there. But I can definitely see where you're coming from.
Oh yeah, Deku absolutely.
And Bakugo are lifting their weights as well, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was just like I did not think that took away from the scene at all when he said that back like 2 episodes ago, I think, or episode. No, that was the last episode, I think, actually. I was just kind of like, he's definitely a leader. I was just like, that man's he's a pro. I mean, All Might kind of went over it whenever he is at, you know, Deku's house, saying whenever he is talking about how he wanted to be a hero and stuff, and you know, he's just kind of like, you're already then he, you know, ... and it kind of like started bowing down and saying, I will take him underneath my wing. I think what he's saying is you're already a pro hero. Like, you are that good mentally, not just physically. So
yeah, and I mean, if Deku wants to get to All Might's level, then he needs to be able to be, you know, Mr. Popular and the leader, and he's moving towards that, definitely. Like, he has progressed so much since the weak-willed kind of wimpy kid we saw back in episode 1. You know, he is definitely getting there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But with that being said, I think that's enough for My Hero. We'll hop on to our last topic. And maybe, you know, Overlord, out of all the shows I talk about, there's so much going on sometimes. Sometimes it can literally be the hardest one to talk about because there's just so much going on through dialogue.
Oh, definitely. Right. I mean, when there's so many characters and whatnot. Yeah.
They started talking about Jaldaboth or whatever. That's actually Demerge in the last episode. At first, I was just kind of like, wait a minute. Wasn't that Demerge? Or Demerge? I was just like, that is Demerge. Thank God I made sure, double checked on that, because I was about to go into a video being like, I'm not sure who Jaldaboth is. But I'm just kind of like, there's so many characters and names. It's just like, oh my God.
It's fucking crazy, man. And then even sometimes they have these like small scenes, like I think it was at the beginning or ending of the second season, where we see like characters we've never seen before and we haven't seen them since, but they just kind of show up and then they disappear forever. And
the redheaded girl.
Who the fuck are these guys?
Redheaded girl from that was in Carney Village.
Right.
The one that was, she was from Rantoul. She's from Rantoul in like the first season. I don't think we've seen her since. Fun fact, guys. I can, like, if you ask me what aired in winter anime this year, the only thing I could tell you was Darlene and the Fran X. Once you like review like 5-6 shows, they all, I mean, they kind of blend in. They all just start blending in after a while.
Definitely. It's a struggle to remember everything.
Like, I don't even, like, dude, spring anime, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. What was, I mean, High School DxD was one I remember. Golden Kamui, it's hard to remember. And all the names, dude, oh gosh.
I don't even remember anything, actually.
Dude, the only
God
thing I
damn it,
remember
man.
from, like, if I look at Golden Kamui, the only name I remember is Sagimoto. And that is it. I mean, outside of that.
Right.
But Overlord.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start off with just asking you, like, where do you stand with Overlord right now? Especially since we just found out. Like, I don't know if you knew this, but because I didn't know it until after my review, but my review came out just fine because it's like I just played it off without knowing. But no, I really just didn't know at the time of the review. The place that the workers are going is actually Nazarick.
Yeah. Right.
See, and that went over my head.
Oh.
And I was just kind of like, oh, that's the. Like, oh my gosh. I was like, that's why Ainz. I didn't know Ainz was that engaged before that reason. That's why he asked why you guys are going.
Oh,
like,
right.
But yeah, I'll just let you take it from here because obviously I don't know Overlord very well.
I mean, you know, doing episode reviews, you gotta miss stuff sometimes. I mean, it happens to the best of us, honestly.
There's so many comments where like I've gotten and they've explained something to me. I was just like, I'm sorry, it won't happen again, and I know it's gonna happen again eventually.
But yeah, I mean, I think the Khan Village arc, and I've been, again, I mean, what the fuck, I sound like such a hater, but I gave the Khan Village arc a lot of shit, but in the end it turned out fine. I think the introduction to this arc was really strong. It's going to be the first time, if I recall correctly at least, that we've seen, you know, other people enter the Tomb of Nazarick.
Oh yeah, this second half to be awesome. The second half to be awesome, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, it's gonna be fucking badass.
People are gonna die. Hopefully, they can make it like emotional enough to where like we really care. That like people.
Yeah.
You know, this is one of the things I just want to interject here really quick.
Yeah, sure.
They put a thing about how they wanted this to be like, this could possibly be Foresight, that group with the purple-haired girl. Like I said, I was going to call her the purple-haired girl because I don't know her name.
Yeah.
But they want this to be potentially their last mission as workers at least, right? And the one just wants to do an honest job. The other one wants to take care of her little sisters. So I want them. I mean, there's death flags right there, obviously.
Oh yeah, so many death flags. Holy
so
shit.
my next thing is make me care, and I wonder if Overlord can do that because they haven't been in a position to do that. Like maybe they won't even die. Maybe they'll somewhat become a part of Nazarick. Who knows? I mean, because the group seems as if they're the only one that actually has morals out of the other groups that are there, even though they're workers. So I don't know, but I'll let you take it from here again. Sorry.
Right. I actually talked a little bit about this in my review as well. How they kind of, back to Attack on Titan, had a little bit of that side character syndrome. You know, I was feeling the death flags really fucking heavy during the newest episode. So I hope they do something. Also, I hope the blonde chick with the little sister survives because I'm emotionally weak and I would cry if she died. But yeah, I think it's gonna be really interesting to see. Like, I hope it isn't like, you know, these guys enter the tomb and then they just get like fucking shit-faced at the entrance. I hope they kind of right.
Well, I mean, the purple-haired girl may get shit-faced. I'm not talking about killed. I just mean drunk, because obviously she's drunk last episode, but...
Oh, yeah, right. But I hope they kind of, you know, make it in there, and we see just kind of like people panicking and all of this stuff. I think Overlord, if there's one thing it does really well, it's conveying, like, fear, especially as an emotion. Yes. So kind of seeing that whole mindset of them knowing that they're gonna die, but it kind of being dragged out, I think that could be super intense.
Kind of giving that glimpse of hope, kind of, in a way.
Right, and everybody in my comment section keeps typing like splat, splat, splat. So I'm like, what the fuck is gonna happen?
I mean, there's a lot of characters, obviously, that are going that we have no connection to and are not gonna get screen time. They're just gonna die. They may get like a minute of dialogue and then die. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
We saw like 30 different characters there. So
hopefully the samurai guy, he was a fucking dick.
Oh, for sure, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
Excuse me. One of the things Overlord does extremely well and has to continue to do well this season is set up the atmosphere. I mean, even when the Carney Village got attacked, like, I mean, it's set like, it's like, I don't know how to put it. Like, I would say certain fights are obviously in certain tiers, like Solitaire versus Ainz, the Gator people versus versus Caucus. I think it's Caucus or something. I think the water sign or something. Obviously, like, that was a tier 2 fight. Ainz versus Saltier is a tier 1 fight, and Carney Village is a tier 3. This show always manages for each like tier fight it has. It's always consistent and it's able to set up the atmosphere that suits said, I would say, fight or per se. You know, per se. Right. That's something that I'm expecting it to do for Nazarick, which I don't know what. I mean, this is gonna be madness. I mean, it's probably not gonna be madness. It's just gonna be one-sided. Who knows? Yeah. I don't know.
I hope they don't tone it down. You know, I want them to go all out. I want them to just. Like, I want these people to just, like, scream for their lives, you know, that kind of thing. I think that would be so fucking cool.
I'm assuming they'll make it a couple levels in. And I'm saying that because there's, like, 30 of them. And but I don't know for sure. But, I mean, each, you know, floor has a guardian. I think Caucus is level 8, right? Is he floor 8? Or is that Demerge?
I actually don't know.
Or is that Demerge? I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure it's Demerge or it's Caucus. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me, obviously, but I'm pretty sure. So I mean, like, obviously, I think if they really wanted to, they could one Guardian, like of Demerge's caliber. He has speed, so you could probably take them all 30 of them out if you really wanted to.
Probably.
Who knows? I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean, in hindsight, this is in the opening. Actually, I just remembered we see them in the tomb in the opening, right?
I can't remember.
Actually, just thinking back, I think we do actually. So they gotta make it in there, I guess.
The only scene I focus on in the opening is whenever Albedo and Saltier are leaning on Ainz and they're saying,
"Oh yeah."
No, it's kidding.
Fucking good. That is quality, dude.
They're saying it's plot. It's yes. One of my favorite things in openings in general is actually just whenever a character's talking. Like, I love when they, like, talk with the song or something like that. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it whatsoever. But, like, I don't know. Like, I like that scene, not just because of, obviously, you know. But
yeah, it's fine, dude. We get you. We get you.
But at the same time, I like it just because it's just cool. Like, it just kind of gives you chills a little bit. It's kind of like, because they kind of, like, break the barrier for, you know, the third wall for openings in a way. They're not directly talking to you, but for an opening to see someone like speaking just isn't, you know, it's kind of like breaking the barrier for openings per se, if you understand what I mean there.
Yeah, the opening is fire, dude. I agree completely. It's my favorite Overlord opening of all time.
All three sound similar. They sound most definitely are they similar, yes, but I mean they bang and like they get me hyped up for them. So it's like, let's go. So. I don't know where I was before I was talking about the opening, but
I think you were talking about like what floor they would make it to or some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they had to at least get to like level 7, maybe. I mean, it's crazy because the weakest maid, I mean, virtually she could take down any human. I mean, virtually.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Unless, I mean, obviously in season 2, the masked girl has a special insect. Spells against the insect girl. So obviously outside of that, like if they're fighting someone on equal footing, it's basically said, you know, demons are just, I mean, humans can only use up to 6 tier magic, right? And it's it's that wizard that can use the highest magic, the one that is El Nix's.
Fluter?
Yeah, yes. He can use 6 tier. I mean, apparently I did read something that like only like 3 people can use 6 tier that are humans. I mean, obviously we already knew that was established. They can't get higher than that. But I've heard there's only like 3 people that can do it in general. So obviously it's none of the people part of this freaking shebang. I mean, it's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, the excitement doesn't come from, you know, whether or not they'll be able to defeat Nazarick, because that'll never happen.
It's just
but it kind of comes from, you know, just seeing how it'll all play out and how they will get shit-faced, as I said.
Yeah, and you never know what it could do for, you know, a certain character. I mean, look at Tuare.
Right.
She is part of Nazarick now. I mean...
Yeah. And how will Ainz take all of this as well, you know?
Yeah, and I mean... the thing he said basically at the end about them, they got paid enough money. He kind of implied, all right, he's like, I have no reason to really feel remorse or sorry about what happens, right?
Yeah, I did see that in my comments as well. People were like, that's really important because he's basically stating, like, you know, these people are fucking bastards, basically.
Yeah, he's like, because you basically want to go and steal people's shit. We know workers is the less morally correct way to go about things, obviously, compared to like an adventurer. And Ainz is just kind of like, it seems I asked a stupid question. That's what he says. And it's just kind of like, okay. So Ainz is supposed to stay there and protect their base, technically. So technically he's not supposed to be there. I wonder if he will make an appearance, though. And it would make sense if he lets people live.
Right.
And he makes an appearance.
The word, right?
And he did say that the Merge wanted to establish a country.
Yeah.
So how do you help? And now they know Nazark is a place. It's been discovered. You can't hide it now. They know where it is. And it doesn't matter if you kill those people or not. Like, obviously they got the job from someone else.
If they let people go back to the Empire,
you establish your country.
They can kind of be like, you
establish your country right then and there. Absolutely.
Right.
So, I mean, there's always some kind of plan to this. I mean, it's interesting. You never know what Ainz is really thinking because that little girl that came in, like, obviously he told Beta, redheaded maid, that add another one to the list because he
thank
protect
God for
her.
that. Holy shit.
You're weak-hearted. You're a weak soul. You can't handle it.
Right.
But obviously, she thought it was so amazing the thing he built with his friends. Obviously, that's why he's just not wanting, a single hair on her head to be, cut, because he took pride in that. It made him happy, and we know that his morals are way different and out of whack because he could watch someone die in front of him, and he'll be like, oh shit, this is crazy, but he won't, mentally he won't feel bad, and he won't feel, he has that demon persona now. It's not just a persona; it's actually an attitude.
And I think he's shifting a little bit too, over the course of the series, kind of like growing a bit more into his role almost.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he thinks logically, and but at the same time he thinks morally correct. It's just that he doesn't have any moral restraints at the same time. Like, nothing's gonna, no morals are gonna make him make a decision. It's only gonna be off a logical, Given I'm pretty sure he likes Enfi or whatever like his name is.
Oh, Enfi, yeah.
Yeah, because he knew that Momomongo was Ainz in season 1, right? Yeah, because it's whenever they first met. He put 2 and 2 together.
He found out at some point. I don't remember when exactly.
So obviously they have a relationship, obviously, because he hasn't told anyone about it, and he could have. So obviously they have a relationship, right? I mean,
yeah.
So, you have anything else to say really about Overlord?
Let's see. The CGI in Khan Village sucked balls.
The CGI is not the best in Overlord.
No, it definitely isn't. But I feel like the Overlord, wow, the Death Knight in the newest episode, it wasn't nearly as bad as the ogres and trolls from Khan Village. So if they keep this level up, it should be fine. And again, as I mentioned before, I feel like it's a really strong start to this arc. I'm really excited to see where it kind of goes from here, honestly. This is a make or break for the season 3 right here. This arc right here. Yeah. This is where shit goes down.
Given Overlord comes through. Overlord's fights aren't even like the most drastically animated. It's the dialogue. It's breaking down the game mechanics whenever Ainz fights and or Momonga fights. It's the atmosphere. It's just it's the music. It's the atmosphere. It's not the animation that makes you say whoa, wow, ooh, and ah. But it's just the atmosphere, the dialogue. It's the music. I saw Giguk said something about anime fights. He's like, honestly, if I was watching a fight, I would rather have great music and or good music preferred and mediocre animation rather than having great and or good animation and bad music. And
right, I can see that, I guess.
And I understand that because if you don't have set up an atmosphere, then
of course. There's so much more to anime than just visuals, as we talked about earlier as well.
I think
you're definitely right.
I think if you look at show let's look at the Naruto Sasuke fight, the very ending one. no music, but damn, did it set up an atmosphere. Like,
Right. Even for me, who didn't like Naruto as well, I actually thought that fight was hype as fuck.
oh yeah, it can't.
Dude, I was so into it, man. I was like,
I mean,
yeah, beat his ass.
It's the animation's like some of the best animation you'll see flat out, hands down, right? Like it doesn't.
Right.
Does it get better than that? Is the question. That's something you got to ask yourself. I mean, ask Boruto's last fight with Momoshiki, but that's insane. But at the same time, like I said, it's just. I mean, I don't know. It's just nuts, man. It's just consistent. And I mean, I think it's Lost Paws made a video about it. He's like, there's not much to the fights of animation. Yes, it's there, and yes, it's good for what it is, but it's just consistent. It brings it every time. You know what you're gonna get, and it's about how it sets it up, whether it's elevated or not. It doesn't need to wow you with the animation, you know.
Right.
So
that's a really good point, actually.
yeah, I mean, that's essentially how I view it, and what I, from listening to other people, that's how, that's why people like it, essentially. I mean, outside of, like I said before, characters mean everything. And, I mean, there's so many characters in Overlord. So damn many. But at the same time, like, you have characters that are support characters that are more established than a lot of shows' main characters in Overlord. I mean, Sebas, Climb,
Sebas, he got a lot of love,
Unglaws. Unglaws went through a lot after he got scared of Saltier and the Stronghoff scene and with Climb and stuff like that. Climb got a lot.
Oh, yeah, Climb as well, yeah.
I mean, Tuare got some. I'm not going to say she's the deepest character ever, but she got some.
Yeah, so. And I mean, even the Khan Village arc. I mean, we had an entire arc where Ainz barely appeared. We had Inferior and Enri get, like, major development as well, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean... Yeah, I'm leaving the character out. Even the princess, the crazy princess.
Oh,
I mean,
Renner?
Yeah. We still need more about her, obviously. But her brother, can I say he's the biggest douche? The older brother. Oh my god.
I hope he dies.
I've been told he will be. He'll get like 30 minutes of something. Another. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
That's gonna be interesting.
He's talking to Stronghoff. Yeah, he's talking to Stronghoff like he's not supposed to be there. He's only the head warrior. No big deal. Yeah. He doesn't have a big title to his name or anything. He shouldn't. Like.
I mean, it just shows you how, how broken the kingdom really is, and. Yeah, how basically, that's the reason why every single thing is just falling apart. It's because of people like him who are like, yeah, fuck your talent, fuck your skills, but if you have low social status, then you aren't anything to me. But, that's why the kingdom is falling apart, because they don't hire people off of talent. Like,
and El Nix was different. Right? The other kingdom was different. They put stated by Ainz, she's like, he does not judge people by social stats, he judges them by talent. And he comes off as a character that, he's like 20, he's probably early 20s, he looks like.
Right.
He comes off.
Emperor?
Yeah. El Nix.
Yeah, right.
He comes off as a character that you're going to dislike and he's going to be arrogant, but he comes off as a character that's smart. It's like the best of, I don't want to say the best of both worlds, but it's like a two-sided coin. He's not just one thing. He comes off as that character that's a typical arrogant guy. He's the emperor. He thinks he's this and that, but he seems as if he's someone he doesn't think he's just this and that. It's like he understands, but yet he's still he has an arrogant attitude per se. So I'm wondering.
He was a really
interesting
interesting character.
Yeah. He just gave me that weird vibe, I guess, man. So. Other than that, though, the goblins from Carney, I want to say really quick, I think it did a great job at giving them a personality. Like the guy that was telling Infree to, or not Infree, but I don't even know, Infree, I don't know, the potion dude, for God's sake. Like, I thought it was cool how they gave him a personality, telling him to go for Infree and everything like that. I thought it was cool. I thought he got a cool personality, goofing around, going to Rantel with Infree and everything. It was pretty cool. So
yeah. It could have been a lot worse for them. Like, they could have just been like, your typical goblins, but they went the extra step and gave them personalities and stuff, and I appreciate that as well, definitely.
So with that, I mean, that's basically probably going to be the end of that. The first episode 1 HexCast. I'll label this something. Who knows? But we'll title it something, dude. But outside of that, though, through the halfway mark, what would you say your favorite thing of summer is? Probably, you could say top 3, I guess.
My favorite shows?
Yeah. You can exclude or include.
Let me see. I really like Asobi Asobase, actually.
Okay, I remember you saying you were reviewing that.
Sorry, what?
I remember you saying that you were reviewing that, I think, or watching it at least.
I'm not reviewing it.
Oh, you're
watching
watching
it.
That's what it is. You're watching it.
Yeah. It's a comedy. So it's really hard to review, but it's so fucking funny, and you can just tell.
Oh, comedies are so hard to review.
You can just tell that the staff is having fun, and it's so fucking good. There's that, and then there's a Grand Blue I really like as well, and then
I need to watch Grand Blue. I've heard good things.
Oh,
I know that.
so
I know
good,
the brown hair girl is just supposed to be this ungodly goddess of a character. People just start bowing down to her, from what I've been told.
Dude, you gotta watch Grand Blue. It's so fucking good. So Asobi Asobase, Grand Blue, and then probably I want to say Hanebado, but I've only watched the first 2 episodes, so I don't really know. But I think it's gonna be really good from what I've heard. It's up there, and of course I like Overlord and Attack on Titan and all of this, but those are the shows that I'm having the most fun with. You know,
just like overall, like entertainment and yeah. I see what you're saying. Honestly, dude, for me, I'm hitting my mic over here. I'm headbutting it. Like I'm looking up at everything I'm watching right now, because I'll even throw in shows that are annuals if I have to at the moment for current time. I mean, see, one show I did not mention that I am watching is Angels of Death. I'm reviewing it as well. People know that. Oh,
yeah, I've seen people talk about that. Is that good?
You have to get to... I don't know how you'll take it, because it's kind of slow, but, like, I like seeing each level and the differences between the level, the prior levels, the previous ones. So... we're starting to actually get into the characters on episode like 6. And it's weird because Angels of Death is listed for an episode count I have not seen. It's listed for 16 episodes.
Huh. That's kind of weird.
It's either like 12. I mean, even 13 is rare. It's either 12, or 21 through like 24 or 25, somewhere in that range.
Yeah,
or it's 13.
Sometimes 10 as well, yeah.
Yeah, but like getting 16, like right in the middle, is just... I haven't seen it before. So I'm interested to see where it goes. It's based off a game, so... I mean,
I kind of want to watch it now as well. When you mentioned 16 episodes, it just seems so out there.
Episode 6, you start getting into like the character. I've heard there's a craziest plot twist. I know there's a craziest plot twist, but obviously I'm not gonna say it because for some reason I was just on Crunchyroll. It's just like spoiler, and because you can do the drop tab. I was just
right.
I'm gonna click this. This can't be nothing too bad. And that's just like,
oh man, instant regret.
I still have so many questions though, even though I know the spoiler.
Oh, right.
So at least I'm still like, I can't wait. But my favorite show is honestly if I'm going strictly from summer, from summer. I mean, obviously Overlord's in there, Attack on Titan's in there, and like if I was deciding between like Angels of Death, or am I even reviewing any other show? I don't think I don't have a big summer list because I'm doing carryovers obviously with the AOT, or not AOT, but My Hero Academia. But I mean, Attack on Titan, Overlord, and How to Not Summon a Demon Lord are my faves. Those, I mean,
right.
The writing for Attack on Titan is really good. I mean, it's really good right now. Overlord brings it every time. You know you're gonna get out of it. You're at least getting a B out of Overlord. I mean, whether it touches A minus level or B plus level, you never know. But it's always, I mean, it touches B plus level at times for sure. I know. I mean, it's a damn good show. I would say it's probably a B plus level. It is a damn good show. I would say it's a damn good show. I would say it's one push away from being great per se. And of course, once you get into the A's of my grade book, the A minuses, the A's, and the A pluses, that's a whole new world. But Attack on Titan's always been a show that's one of my favorites. I mean, it's in my top 10 favorites. I love Attack on Titan. Right. So, but other than that, though. Oh
man, then you gotta be loving this.
Season. Dude, every episode, it's just every episode's so engaging, and no, I don't think any anime. I don't know if there's any anime this year that's just like made you just so engaged and and just be filled with anticipation of what's gonna happen next. Where is this going? And whether you're in English class or whatnot. I mean, you're a kindergarten teacher, you said, right? Or you're about to be something like that.
Yeah, I just graduated. Yeah.
So one of my things is, like any English teacher or whatever, no matter in a paper, whether it be a show, no matter what it is, a story, they'll tell you the biggest thing that you can possibly do is make someone ask a question. in the beginning. Make them
true.
ask that question. Make them beg, beg for the question to be answered. And Attack on Titan does it every episode. It could be something new or on something old. It's like, holy shit. Even if you start saying, I don't like this, but I want to know, you're going to keep watching. So, I mean...
That is very true. That has kept me coming back, honestly.
And it brings animation. It doesn't just set up an atmosphere. It brings animation.
Oh, yeah. The Attack on Titan has, like, everything. They have the animation on point, too. Definitely. Holy shit.
Dude, one fun fact of the podcast, and it's completely random, but they actually said the Momoshiki fight in Boruto. Did you see that?
I didn't, but I heard it was like the best fucking thing ever.
Oh, it's probably the best animation of the year, hands down. It took them a month just to make that fight.
Holy shit.
It's like 15 minutes long. But other than that, though, we're probably going to end the HexCast here. We've been talking for probably, more than 20 minutes. But
oh, yeah, we have.
Yeah, I mean, so... With that, guys, do you have anything to say, Mikey? Mikey, or Brody, as some call you, which I was unaware of.
Brody, apparently. Thanks for having me. It's been fun. Hopefully, we can talk about some more anime moving forward. And
that's the plan.
I hope you guys like this. Thanks to Hex again.
Yeah, we have no idea if this is going to be bi-weekly, a monthly. We're still figuring stuff out. For all we know, the next episode may not even be about seasonal. It may just be about the anime that have been introduced from this point. I'd probably like to do a HexCast about the anime that's gonna be coming out. I mean,
that could be fun.
Of course, fall is gonna be stacked, from my understanding. I'm pretty sure Hero Shield is supposed to come out this fall, but if Hero Shield comes out this fall, we literally are going to have what is it? It's Hero Shield. It's I know Fairy Tail is coming out. I know a lot of people are obviously
Sword Art Online is coming out.
Sword Art Online is coming out. Golden Kamuy is coming out, and
the new JoJo.
JoJo's coming out. That's another big one. I'm missing one crucial one. I'm gonna pull. Oh, Goblin Slayer. That's what it was, and I've heard a lot about that. I've heard a lot about that in Hero Shield. So if Hero Shield does indeed come out this fall, which I'm pretty sure I saw that it is. Given Tokyo Ghoul is also supposed to come out, but I don't think I'm going to bother catching up to review that, guys, because they're supposed to be doing 100+ chapters in 12 episodes.
Holy shit.
Yes. But no, it's Sword Art Online, Fairy Tail 2018, Tokyo Ghoul, Index. What is it? The Index show. Season 3.
Damn.
So that's 4. The Goblin Slayer is going to be a fifth show that's coming out. And at the same time, Golden Kamuy. So, I mean, right there... Golden Kamuy is underrated. If you have not seen it, please go watch it. I still got to catch up, but it's arguably like the back end of my top 5 if I'm really going from. It's funny and one of the most ruthless ever main characters. But so I mean, once again, Sword Art Online, Fairy Tail, Tokyo Ghoul, Index, Goblin Slayer, possibly Hero Shield, and Golden Kamuy will be next season, so that's gonna be insane.
And then we have all the randoms as well.
There's gonna be at least a dark horse. There'll be one, unless Goblin Slayer is low key that dark horse, but it's pretty popular, so I wouldn't even consider it dark horse. But other than that, though, guys, Mikey has basically said his goodbyes. Apparently, I need to say mine now. So as always, guys, you guys have been hexed. Hope you guys did enjoy the HexCast. Hope you guys. Well, we're like hyped throughout the whole thing. I hope you guys found it engaging. Obviously, you guys will let me know in the Discord. Obviously, you guys will let me know in the comments and whatnot. And with the like button. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys.
Woo!